This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters.
It's motorsport, but not as you know it. Test yourself and your everyday road car. Safe, affordable, but most of all, fun. And all you need is your daily driver. Experience the thrill of a sprint day. Race against the clock at a hill climb. Or test your reflexes with an auto test. It takes just 3 simple steps to get started. Get on the start line. Search Motorsport Australia Daily Driver today.
Fishies in a row. They're here to make a point and to do Eddie proud. They fan out in the background as they come down to turn 1 for the first time. It all looks pretty good, 2 by 2. We'll stop the camera here. Oh, Eddie would be proud, mate. That was awesome run around turn 1. But, oi! Contact with the fishies!
He's made it through. It doesn't look like Angus has made it, but Thomas Freeman's made it through, and Angus is going to suffer the crowd coming through there to be able to turn his car around. Woo.
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
And they are off. It was a good start from Dylan to Bono. I think Phil Vella got a great start there in the background as well. You can see already cars going 5, 6 wide as they're trying to find any semblance of space. They come into T1. So far we've got 2, 3 wide as they snake down. There's Michael Culture that's got around Dylan de Bono. A couple of cars going wide there. Was that a bit of contact in the back? Scott Pocock caught up in that, I think, there, buddy. But it's Michael Cullaghar's got past, so Dylan...
light is coming out and we're about to get going, and we have a green light and a very slow start for the 86s, but they are moving out there on the grid. It would be very interesting to see exactly which driver can capitalise on this first lap. Just go through the grid. Look like Jamie Christensen had a really awesome start to get ahead of Dylan de Bono, and Doug Gowage also jumped his teammate as well, so unfortunately Dylan stalled the car a little bit more than what he preferred. But
Weekend in, weekend out, Motorsport Australia officials are making waves. From waving flags, waving cars through pit lane, or responding to a wave for help. Wave hello to new lifelong friends. Who knows, you might just make waves around the world. Ride the first wave. Search Motorsport Australia officials today.
Still great classes of car, and if you are able to, if you're coming up the ranks on iRacing through the licenses, it's a fantastic sort of laneway into prototype driving, going from that GT3 up through the prototype classes. As the safety car pulls in and we get ready to go green as we come up towards the line. Edwards, Hasler, who's going to get the jump down to turn 1, or will any of the fishies, any of the piranhas in behind them, assault them down towards
green and they're off.
First lap? Let's go here.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons.
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover,
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be
Shannon's.
Shannon's, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. It was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Mostyn and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because Tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if we get some good lines. Up the Dodds, just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are watching from, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sim Racing World TV. Tonight, it is the SRWtv Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am Series here on round number 5 out at Mugello. I'm your commentator here tonight, Hamish Munro. Joining me in the booth will be Steve Sinkovic, although he is running late just at this moment in time. It's pro and pro action here tonight for the V8 Supercars. We saw what the Pro-Ams and the amateurs could do Tuesday night. It was an absolutely hectic race from what we saw. Strategy came into play, and there were two big players who took advantage of that strategy, those being Darren Crosby and Andrew Cowan. They did the one stop. It managed to get them all the way to the end, to P1 and 2. It was a struggle for the fuel saving, but it proved that the one stop can work. So, going to be a big night of racing here tonight as we see the safety car running it wide there off the exit of one of the Arabiatas as they cut some laps. But should be a good night of racing here tonight. A couple of regular players still out there, of course. We've got Darren Lobster running around, as well as Gerard Sanfuentes, Troy Stonestreet, Harry Dodds, Tyson McAvoy's out there as well. Even Andrew Cowan, who made that one-stop work, as I mentioned. So if you're new here and you haven't already, please, ladies and gentlemen, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and hit the bell icon as well so you are notified anytime we go racing across the 6 nights of the week that we do go racing. It starts out Tuesday nights, Warren & Brown V8 Supercars Series, the Pro-Ams and the Amateurs. Then we head over to Shannon's Insurance Formula 3 Nationals on Wednesdays. Then for Thursday, it is the Shannon's Insurance Toyota Geo86 Nationals, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series. Friday night, Warren & Brown Tools IMSA Shadow Series. Then we come into the Sunday night, Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am, and then we end our racing week Monday night with the Motorsport Australia Formula V Nationals, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series. So, Mugello, what kind of challenges can it offer us? I mean, we spoke about it at the length on Tuesday night. What can it offer the drivers? Well, there's so many different variations or challenges to this track, variations of challenges to this track, depending on what kind of race you're having and depending on if you're getting into battles or if you're in your own head or if you're on a quali lap or if you're racing. So many different challenges that can occur. There's so many different little danger zones around this circuit that can offer them up, as I mentioned. You know, obviously it's a very long straight for the main straight down through turn 1. A tight, long right-hand turn through turn 1. Then up through the sort of chicane sections of 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we come up to the Casanova, the little roller coaster section, as I like to call it, through 6 and 7. Very fast, you know, right, left, downhill section of circuit. Then through the double right at both the Arabiatas, 1 and 2, down at 8 and 9. Then we come up through turn number 10 and 11. Another one of those little tight but short, sharp chicanes through 11 and 12. And then up through 13 and 14. And then through turn 15, the long left-hander to end the lap. So the kind of things we're going to have to look out for tonight is if there's any big bingles that happen out on track. There may be a lot of runoff, but we have seen from time to time around here that when there's bingles that happen, the cars can kind of somewhat become unweighted and you know, undulated and hurt from it. And they can then get into kind of blocking the track, causing some issues. Possibility of a safety car. I mentioned on Tuesday night, this track's very similar to where we were last week out at Silverstone. It's a real 50-50 on if you're going to get safety cars win the race or not. It really depends on how the race is going and kind of how the drivers are racing out there at the end of the day. If they're kind of getting a little bit heated and they're battling it out hard and we could possibly see some engines blown, then yes, we'll see some safety cars. But if not, you know, I doubt we're going to see any from people running off and hitting the wall. It's, you know, supercars are pretty strong. They can withstand a good hit into the wall. So the drivers are just going to have to be a little bit careful about that here tonight. But we're coming up to the end of practice. We're then going to get into our qualifying. 13 cars in the session at the moment, or 12 cars in the session at the moment. So we're a little bit under what we'd normally have. Hopefully that can pick up a little bit throughout qualifying. We can get some late joiners. And then we can get into the race here tonight. An hour-long race around Mugello. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got beautiful weather coming at us here tonight out of San Piero. And I think it's just going to offer up a whole heap of challenges. Absolutely love this track. Spoke about it at length on Tuesday. Spoke about it at length on the Vets finale race as well, about how much I love this circuit. So I think it's going to offer us up a good amount of challenges, but also some good racing as well. Already in the chat tonight, Jordan Ferguson. Great to have you in here, Jordan. Saying, can I pet that dog? You can pet my dog, Jordan. Although she does not live with me, she lives with my mum. But you can pet my mum's dog if you ever were to meet it. Anyone else out there, guys? If you want to get into the chat, get chatting with us. Give us your thoughts on the circuit, give us your thoughts on the series, on the supercars. If you've ever driven the supercars, and if you've actually had a crack around this Mugello circuit, it feels absolutely incredible in a supercar when you are on a lap around here and you can get it done just to absolute perfection. It feels absolutely spectacular. But cars are heading out on track, and we now get into qualifying for here tonight. Harry Dodd's at the front of the field at the moment. He leads them away. And we've got Tyson McAvoy. I did speak to Tyson after Tuesday night's race and prior to tonight's race as well at length. He is attempting that one stop here tonight. So he will be attempting to match what his teammate Andrew Cowan did Tuesday night in the one stop and heading it up onto the podium. We'll see if there are any other drivers who are going to attempt it as well. But again, it's all going to come down to whether they can get it absolutely maximized and really push for it. Big news tonight is there's no Andrew Dyson out there, so Darren Lobb is without his championship challenger at this stage. This is likely going to be one of Dyson's drop round for the season, so we'll have to see how that kind of pans out. It is also Lobby's teammate as well, so could be a lot on offer for us here tonight. Ty Delaney pulling double duty. He's just come out of the Scott Split 2 session and into Pro-Am, so good to see that he's pulling some double duty, and he is able to join us here tonight for Mugello. So we'll see how the young gun can do out of the little guppy Fishy Motorsports machine there. Steve has just joined me in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. I've got him muted on stream at the moment, but we've just brought him in. Steve, I mean, what phenomenal action we had on Tuesday night, obviously out at this track. Small numbers here tonight, but that could mean that we get some nice little tight battling, hopefully for our best.
Look, there'll be some late inclusions. We have had a brief chat about it. I think next Scops round we will start the show about half an hour later. Give the boys that compete in both series a little bit of time to get into our series and get back on track to make it a bit easier. There's no reason why we should have to smash these guys. But you know what? Tonight's a night of two different strategies. There's, like you mentioned, Tyson's going to try to go for the one-stopper, as he said. And there's also the two-stop strategy. The two-stop strategy is actually a little bit faster, but you've just got to be at the right place on the grid to take it there. You can't just assume that a two-stop strategy is going to get you up the top end of the field. You've got to be up the top end of the field to make it work for you.
Yeah, it comes down to, obviously, if you're doing a one-stop, you're saving 40 seconds or 40-odd seconds on your race time, pretty much, because you're not having to pit on that second stop. But the time that you gain off that, you're not able to match the lap times of the fast guys, because obviously you're having to save to get home. So the faster guys, so say if Darren Lobb, if he goes for a two-stopper here tonight, which I actually think he may go for a one, being that he is a bit of a strategist master stroke out there. If he were to go for a two-stop, he's able to cover that 40-second loss with lap time, so being able to lap 1 or 2 seconds faster than the ones who do a one-stop. So it's going to be interesting to see what the spread is.
Guys that could make a two-stop work quite easily.
Yeah.
I mean, if you looked at Davis's times after on his two split, he was catching the boys up front pretty much. It was just about 3/4 of a second a lap at one point.
Yeah, if
he had second a lap.
If he had like an extra 5 or 10 minutes, he would have caught them and passed them easily. You know, if it was slightly longer and they had the ability to do the one stop over a course of an extra 10 minutes, he would have caught them by the end of the 10 minutes, most likely.
Correct. He just ran out of time. I think he was. Yeah. I think he was really about 2 laps shy at the end.
Yeah.
He made up that much, and the boys up front were saving like crazy as well. But in saying that as well, I think someone like Lobby always leaves a little bit extra in the tank to make sure he's got enough there to fend off anyone that comes through.
Yeah, I think he's. It'd be interesting to see what the play is tonight. Being that Dyson's not here, he's kind of only having to cover now based not based on pace anymore, but based on strategy. So do we think he covers the strategy by just going for the one stop if it's the more popular pick, or do you think he just goes for the two stop, goes for the safe option, and then uses that pace as his advantage here tonight?
I don't know. He's got the skill level to do both. So we'll wait and see, I guess. Let's see what he does and let's see how he takes it.
Obviously, here is the man of the moment, Andrew Cowan. Managed to pull off the one-stop Tuesday night, Steve, and he managed to get up onto the podium, P2 overall Tuesday night. What a masterstroke it was, not only from him, but from Crosby as well. He even nearly caught Crosby. If he had an extra lap, he probably would have had him. But, you know, he's just... It could be a struggle here tonight being with the pros, but maybe the strategy works out for him. A couple more comments in the chat as well. David Coleman in there, don't think we'll need to worry about being attacked. He then followed up with... if he doesn't win by 25 plus seconds, I'd be surprised. Yeah, we'd have to wait and see on that one. And then Brad in the chat as well. If the race goes an extra lap tonight, they won't make it. Yeah, they won't. That's true as well. So if they go an extra lap, Steve, based on the faster pace, then the one stop may not be so beneficial. But we'll have to wait and see how it's going to pan out for them.
We had no safety car on Tuesday night as well. So a safety car will change that dramatically as well. So it'll throw a bit of a spanner in the works if someone's going for a one-stopper. The safety car will come out. You know, they might be able to get in on time and take advantage of it. They might not. So it'll change the situation again. So there's a few factors in there that could change the race completely.
So I think one of the big pieces of news that I saw today about one of our competitors out there, Mr. Crumb, he has announced today that he is expecting another child coming to this world.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
There's a few of that going on at the moment. Someone else I know in the league has as well, but I'm not going to talk about it yet because it's not general knowledge. So, but it's good to see people having a few more ankle biters that'll potential growth in the SRW community.
Well, I know for Crummy at least, he's left a good gap between when he's had kids. I know his son at the moment, I believe, has just started primary school this year, so he's left about five or 6 years gap. He is expecting for August this year, apparently. So, but big congratulations, obviously, from us to Cowie, to Crummy, and yeah, it'll be good to see another little, a most famous junior man out of the 8-6 field come into the old man or girl. The gender has not been announced. But yeah, it'd be good to see another little Crummy having a go. Price in the chat saying Dino having a baby. That's the question there.
No, he's a baby, mate. He wouldn't be having another one, mate. But someone we all know is. But we'll talk about it another time. Don't even ask me because I'm not even going to give you hints.
No, the only reason I mentioned Crummies was his partner put it up on Facebook. I'm like, well, it's public knowledge. We can mention it now. So.
Yeah, exactly. How are we going off times at the moment? We're looking at
Darren Lobb,
some of the boys
fastest man
that are
on
out
track,
there.
48.7. And then Doble in P2 at the moment with a 48.9. So about 2/10 is the gap between the top two. Then it's Sam Fuentes, P1 for the Pro-Ams, P3 overall, 49.23 as well. So
Dodsy's on full orange at the moment. Ty Delaney's got purple second sector. So he's starting to light it up as well. Maybe he's all pumped up after his Scops night.
yeah, a bit of double duty for the young fella. His dad managed to get into split one off the back of taking the win in the first race here tonight. So he unfortunately misses out on Pro-Am action, but gets to enjoy some split one Scops action for himself. So, but the young fella gets to have a good crack here tonight. Yeah. Mark,
well, he's on track for a good time at the moment. He's doing well. His second sector's purple. Let's see how he does in the last sector. Here he comes through.
Saw the slide through the last corner.
Yeah,
it was good. It wasn't quite good enough for a gain. He kind of just let it go there in the last section. We'll check out some other drivers doing. Bruce Tannick out on track as well. He's yet to set a time in this session. Mark Cochran in chat saying, "Evening, gents. Another exciting night of SRW action. It is indeed." Mugello delivered for us on the strategy front on Tuesday night, and being that we're now with the Pro and Pro-Ams, we should see them start to really push to make more moves, being the pros are a little bit less hesitant to go for those overtakes, is what the amateurs are on the Tuesday night.
Here's a good one for you. Here's a good one for you. Tyson might make top 10.
I did say that to him. I said, "Hey, you could have an easy top 10 here tonight if you're careful." And we'll have to wait and see how he goes on that front. But
yeah. Sorry, Tyson. Got to give it to you, mate. While I can, got to give it to all the boys while we can. They're doing well out there at the moment. What do we got? We got Lobby Double Dodds. This sounds like a song. Lobby Double Dodds.
And then you get to Sam Fuentes, who just completely ruins that.
Yeah. No, that's the perler in it. Lobby Double Dub San Fuentes. And then Cowan and Delaney and Crum at the moment. The rest of the boys are yet to set a lap time. So there's a few out there that are battling away. Stone Street's on complete greens at the moment, doing well. Kyle Zink's got a second sector in yellow, so he's dropped a little bit. And Tyson McAvoy's now got himself on a double green as well, so that'll push him up if he can get through. Oh, Lobby is on a purple sector to start with.
We'll see here what the DPR man can do here tonight. On board with him now. Just see the wheel work from him. Completely smooth inputs. And we've spoken about this weeks prior to tonight, how just those smooth inputs from him is how you can just gain pace in this car. Getting the smooth inputs correct, not even just in the steering, but for the brakes, for the throttle, if you're running clutch, if you're blipping. All these things come together in a great crescendo that can help you tame the supercar, which can be so hard to tame on the best of times. He is kind of just proving, and there are faster drivers than Lobby, out there, but he's still incredibly quick and incredibly competitive in this car as well, and he proves that having that cleanliness as a driver and that consistency really is the key to being fast in this car.
Oh, 100%. You've seen the move and the movement he gives in that wheel. There's never a big judder left and right. It's always consistently smooth. It is the key.
I'm sorry, I've just had to laugh because I was talking about how smoothness and consistency gets him the pace, and he cuts a 48.1. Like, it's just proof in the pudding right there from him. Just able to get that pace out of the car. Harry Dodds, he's just on the cusp of a 48. See how the Frog Leap driver can do. Of course, missed Friday night's action out of IMSA. And if you guys missed that one, be sure to check it out after tonight's race. It was an absolute perler here on SRWtv. Some absolutely fantastic action. Had Toddy Thorburn back in the broadcast booth with me for the first time since he left SRW. And I actually went and found out that I was the one that replaced him, Steve. So quite interesting that's now come full circle.
Yeah.
But no, it was a good time. It was good, and it was a great race.
Very passionate broadcaster, Toddy. And gets right into the nitty-gritties. I love it.
A couple of drivers coming across the line now. Kyle Zink able to set a time a little bit off the pace with a 50.9 there. He's got a bit of time to gain. Doddsy unable to better his time off the back of that one. Burgess is on a couple of green sectors. Has he actually managed to set a time off this? I don't think he has. So this might be now the next crack for him as we come into the end of this session. This should be sort of these last couple laps now for these guys. 13 minutes into the 15-minute session. So being that it is a regular round here tonight, they will be able to finish their laps as long as they start them before the end of the 15 minutes. But, I mean, just about, I think, 4 drivers are unable to set a time just yet, Steve. So we've seen it work out for Miles in the past, though. He's managed to go from the back to the front of the field. But it could be a bit of a challenge for him. Well, not necessarily a challenge for him to do it here tonight, but he's going to have less competitors to go through, but he's going to have to do it against faster competitors than what he's had to do on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I'm expecting actually a big race out of Cowie tonight, because just that he just had a little bit more seat time on this track than most of the guys out there. So I'm expecting big things. I might put the Moz on him, but we'll see what it comes up with. He's definitely got the skill set for it, and he's driving that little bit more measured and a little bit smoother, actually, I'd say.
Yeah, and again, this is a track that really benefits that cleanliness and that smoothness, as we mentioned. And I think that's really what it's going to come down to. Now, are we likely to see safety cars here tonight? Well, looking at Tuesday night, I'd say no. And being that we have got the smaller field, I'd say no. But anything can happen. I mean, I've seen safety cars come here based on, you know, someone blowing an engine, or there's been a massive biff that's blocked the track. Now, the more likely out of those two options with the smaller field here tonight, probably option A with the blown engine. But it's not out of the realm of possibility that we see someone go for a move, or we see a bit of intense battling and biffing happening that could lead to, you know, someone ending up on the wall and needing a tow. But I'll have to wait and see how that turns out. McElroy's come out, but he's come out right before the end of the 15 minutes, so he's not going to be able to get another time in now. So he's kind of just ruined it for himself a little bit, I think.
Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. It gives him a little bit more gumption to have an attack a bit later on in the race, and you know, you don't need to be in the top 10, so that's not a bad thing.
So Burgess still unable yet just to set a lap time. And he must just be getting curb strikes. That must be what's leading to this happening. He's got one more chance now.
It is one of those tracks where you got to watch those like that could be a curb straight away. You know, it's a tough one. That's another one we're missing tonight. And we're missing him all week. Actually, I hope everything's okay. Callum Hodgkinson hasn't been in all week. I'm gonna have to reach out to him, mate. He usually races nearly every night.
He was in IMSA on Friday.
Oh, he was? Oh, good. Yeah, because I hadn't seen him for the rest of the series, which was unusual for Callum.
Yeah, he wasn't there on Wednesday for IMSA, I know that. Oh, not IMSA, F3s, but he was there for IMSA on Friday.
He
fairly
missed
certain.
F3s and he missed 86s. So, good to see he made it for Friday night. Obviously, work's getting very busy. Another person who's gone out on his own and started a business of his own, which is excellent to hear. So if anyone wants a shed built, reach out to us and we'll get you in touch with Callum. Also, one of our RC members, if you're in Kiwi and you want some painting and plastering done, Stefan McCartane has also launched his own little business too. So give those boys a bit of a plug too. If you've got a plug that you want out there, reach out to us and let us know. Also, if you've got someone that you want to watch, they want us to focus on, let us know. And like and subscribe.
Cheeky plug for my podcast, Beyond the Apex, as well.
Beyond the Apex?
Yeah, can be found on YouTube. We talk about all things iRacing, mainly also talking about the vets as well. Last episode I spoke at length about Tempest coming in, what kind of cars are getting it, how it's going to work, the new cars that are coming in for next season. Of course, Rain is coming in next season. And one thing I actually remembered today, Steve, as well, as I wanted to mention this too, is...
Just before we go on, I'm just going to give you a pat on the back for an original name.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No, I was being sarcastic, mate.
One thing that I realized today is for league races especially, if there's a league out there that wants to run Rain on those somewhat limited cars that are going to be run, if they're running a manual safety car, they're actually going to have that safety car be one of the cars that have got Rain, otherwise Rain will not work. So for us, for example, we use GT4, we use the GT4 Mercedes as a safety car. We're not going to be able to have Rain because the GT4 cars do not have Rain yet. So just something to think about as well. If you
might have an 86 doing safety car.
Maybe. we'll have to wait and see. But here's our starting grid for tonight's race, ladies and gentlemen. It's a short, sharp one for you. Darren Lobb will start out of P1. Ahead of Brad Doble in P2. They're making up the front row of the grid. Harry Dodds will then start in P3. Ahead of Troy Stonestreet out of P4. This could be Stonestreet's time to break through, possibly get up higher up the order than he has been in the previous weeks. Gerard Sanfuentes will then start P1 for the Pro-Ams, P5 overall here tonight. Head of Ty Delaney out of P6. Andrew Cowan and Luke Crum will then come in P7 and P8, with Bruce Tannick and Kyle Zink making up the top 10. It will then be Chris Tomlin out of P11. P12 here tonight will in fact go to Miles Burgess. It'll then be Tyson McAvoy in P13. Greg Barber and Thomas Freeman are our race controllers here tonight. Big thank you to them for showing up week in and week out and helping us out do the race control. But it's a short, sharp grid. Will it be some nice, short, sharp racing around this circuit for us here tonight?
Oh, no doubt there will. There's the team the guys that are out there are still super fast. Going to be some entertainment going left, right, and centre. It's good. Brad Doble's got a change of livery tonight. He's gone from the pale blue sort of undercoat colour to a bright lime, and still supporting Breast Cancer Australia. So good on him. There's Mr. Lobb on the front of the grid. Doble next, followed by Mr. Dodds, Troy Street, Jarrison Fuentes, Ty Delaney, Andrew Cowan, Luke Crumb, Bruce Tanner, Kyle Zig, Chris Tomlin, Miles Burgess, Tyson McAvoy. Thought I just snipped that one in.
Take a breath on that one there, Steve. We've got Scotty Van Loon in the chat. The Rattler saying Mugello is a perfect motorcycle track with all of its off-camber corners, and saying who's going to take it to Lobby. Well, the questions will be answered for us here tonight. Lights are up. Let's get ready to go racing out at Mugello for the second time of the season. Dobble has had an absolutely atrocious start off the line.
Down.
Massive bog. That's now going to give Stone Street the run up into turn 1. Dodsey's already up into P2, and Lobby's maintained the lead. And Dobble has just dropped massive spots.
Go. Nicely moved. Stone Street's actually got a good start off there, but it's dropped back a couple of places as well. But little Delaney got himself snuck up into third place.
There's contact with Burgess and Crumb.
Oh, no. It's all right. Looks like they're still on the run. They're still going. No one is on the side of the dirt stuck anywhere. But as expected, Darren Lobb is already out with 6/10 to go. All right, Dodsey, this is your night, mate. It's your night for a podium. You probably are he's probably the second highest ranked driver in there at the moment, experience-wise, that comes out of SRW. So he just needs to keep that clean tonight and keep the fight to Lobby.
Let's see here if Lobby's going to run away with it or not. No, we can't.
We can't forget the, the hiccups, the legendary Bruce Tannock.
Oh, I mean, he's already made up quite a few spots. He's up 2 already. Could make his way through the field. McAvoy's already up 3 spots. So he's already making a run. Crummy's down 3, unfortunately for him. So off the back of Lobby's car now. So we come through 13 and 14 up to 15. Rattler in there saying go the minnow. Well, he's doing very well as the little guppy. Ty Delaney's up into P3. Double duty here tonight for the young fella. And, well, he's just proving that, you know, anything that Blake can do, Ty can possibly do better.
Yeah, you know what? This is probably the smallest fishy field we've had in a long, long time. And I'm pretty sure I saw Mr. Dyke is on iRacing, so he's probably having a crack at Scops.
I know Michael Whiting was doing Scops. Why isn't Mr. Coleman in here? He must have just missed the cutoff. Because I know he also, I think, had a crack at Scops as well. You can let us know, Coleman, what happened there. But yeah, I mean, just trying to keep it as clean as possible. Obviously, we've got a big season coming up. We're into the latter half of the season now, Steve, of course. Tomlin's dropping spots. He's had a bit of a moment.
Yep.
As we get up here, our timing tower. There's the best lap time so far. 1:55 is the best lap of the race, but that was the first lap run through. So the time's learning to get faster.
Once Lobb sets in, he'll start racking up the times down the. I don't think he'll get to the 48s during the race, but he'll get up to the 49s to 50s, somewhere around there. He's got no name written beside his thing in SDK. Has he changed teams again?
No, I don't think he hasn't. He's got the same livery. So he's still with DPR. So it's not.
Mr. Rattler Van Loom got himself some serious ink. Or he didn't get it today. He completed it today. Some serious ink on his legs for those of you who follow our Facebook account. You'll probably see that he's done a whole front and back of the knee. It's an amazing artwork. Amazing artwork. I should have lopped him a 50 to put an SRW logo on there. I already tasked him for that. The colours would have looked good. The scheme was right. It's all reds and blues and greys. Would have looked perfect. It's maybe just behind the kneecap or something.
You see Dodds under massive fire from Delaney now, offering up a good little battle for us. Burgess is over the radio. Did you catch what he was saying there, Steve?
No, I couldn't hear him. I was flapping my gums, mate.
Oh, just as usual, am I right?
We'll see. We'll find out shortly once RC hasn't responded, so I don't think it was an incident. Maybe they'll just have a bit of a chinwag. But yeah, Ty Delaney is putting pressure on Doddsy like crazy here. This is this young fella's coming of age this year. I tell you what, 2 seasons ago, you wouldn't have thought he was able to put pressure on someone like Harry Dodds with the experience he's got, but Ty is in there and all over him. He's got 3/10 on the back, 4/10, hovering around there on the back of Dodsey, and he'll keep that pressure on. He's getting very consistent.
Drive-through penalty for car 093 for contact with car 037 on lap 2. So that'll be going to Miles Burgess for contact with Tyson McAvoy. We can get the replay up right now, show you what's happened. So Tyson went off track at this point. Oh, we see Miles in behind him. Oh, and he just balked him straight in the back, and that sent him off.
Speared him into the wall. He's just lifted the rear end up and lost traction of it, and off it went. Oh, the replay's working.
Yeah. Wait, was it actually sized correctly? No, it's not. Yeah, but we'll get that.
It wasn't perfect, but it was
pretty
pretty close.
It needs to go next size up. So it's a little bit of tweaking with that one, but we at least have got the replay transition going at the moment. But back on board now with time.
8.23. He's got it down. He's got it down. Lobby did get it down to the 48s. I swallow my words. And the boys are getting it down to 49s as well. Well done. All sitting in 49s at the moment, right down to Bruce Tannock. I didn't think they'd get it into the 48s tonight.
Well, they got it in quali. Delaney's got a massive run up to turn 1 now on Dodsey. Can he get it up the outside? He's going to have to do it the long way round, but this will give him the run up towards turn 2, 3. Side by side they come. He just slips it back in behind him now.
He's still got him over and under. Oh, a little bit of swapping there. There could have been a nose removal there quite easily.
Yeah, that was smart from Ty just to not send it up the inside then. I mean, this is the future of the league here, Dodsey and Ty.
A little bit on the aggressive side there. I like it. He's coming out of his shell, the young fella.
This is the future of SRW. Obviously, if they were to stay in SRW and SRW were to survive, for eternity, I guess we'd say these guys are the current future.
Look, we plan on being around for a long, long time to come, but you just never know. Burgess has just served his drive-through, and Ty and Harry have got, they got 7/10 on the back of Gerard Cifuentes there, so that gap is only 7/10. It doesn't seem like a lot, but then off the back of that is Troy Stone Street, who's 2.5. So he's dropping back, trying to get back onto these guys and start getting some draft from them.
He's not actually lapping that much slower. He was only 200ths off the back of Dodsey's time. And if Dodsey and Delaney start battling like this up towards the pit stop period, it's going to start dragging Sam Fuentes and Stone Street and even possibly Tannick into this battle as well, who's got Brad Doble right on the back of him at this stage in time. So we could be on here for a nice little, possibly little fatal four-way, even some
Dick
5
is
or
all
6
over the
way
back of
action as
Crummy,
well.
mate. Kyle Zink's all over the back of
indeed.
Crummy. He's down to 2/10s, 4/10s. He's putting some mega pressure on there. Good to see Kyle back in the SRW track and applying some pressure. Is he going to be able to get him under brakes here? He's got the look at the draft. How strong that is there. He was just a little bit too far at the beginning of that straight. I reckon the next straight, Crummy's going to be in trouble. Oh, Crummy has just lost the front end a little bit there. That nearly gave it to Kyle, but Kyle's still putting that pressure on. I think next lap around, if these guys are this close, I think Kyle might have him by the end of that straight.
Yeah, he might go for it. He wasn't quite close enough that time by. He may even have it up here into 4 and 5, but again, just the smart play there, not going for the immediate dive bomb. To come up towards the
shallow line
Casanova.
through there. That's given Zink the opportunity to get right in beside him. That shallow line, you just lose too much pace. And they've got 2x2 going through the S's. Crummy's not going to let it go, but Kyle's keeping the pressure on. That's a great bit of driving, great respect from both drivers there.
Fantastic racing from both of them. Of course,
Just goes to show you that shallow line sometimes we see these drivers take. Hamish, we spoke about it last week. It just diminishes that little bit of pace coming out of the corner.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And,
then
it
puts
can
you in
ruin that
trouble.
run. And it's again, not all tracks are like it. Well, when you have a track combo with a supercar and the track doesn't really like shallow lines, you got to maximize your runs in this car to get the most out of it.
Yeah.
And running those shallow lines like Silverstone and even here, you're not going to get as much pace out of the corner. There are tracks like tracks that are a little bit more forgiving when you take a shallow line, maybe a bit of a Long Beach, or even possibly like Belle Isle, even Sandown somewhat, as long as you're not coming onto Dandenong Road. The shallow line isn't necessarily actually going to hurt you too much.
What's going on there? I think I saw Kyle Zink just back off a little bit then.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
That was really weird. It was like he was right up there and all of a sudden he just dropped off on him.
Maybe he's thinking about this now from a bit of fuel-saving strategy. Oh, but he sent it up the inside.
He sent it.
Crummy's going to give
It's
him
clean.
all the
He's
room in
there
the
up the
world.
pillar before the corner's taken. That's nicely done. But will he get it all the way through? Because Crummy's not letting it go. He's taking the shallow line again, which is going to cost him the pace for the next corner. And it did, yeah. Oh, that was a bit too much bump there. That's opened the door back to Crummy. And Crummy's got him side by side again. Looks like the boys are going to have to fight it out for a few more quarters.
You can see it's just an absolute arm wrestle between the both of them. Neither of them want to give an absolute inch here for the position. Crummy, though, backs out of it. He's going to save the run now, I think, down towards turn 1. He'll just want to try and keep it on the back of Zink and just try and stick with him here through sort of the latter half of Sector 2 and up into Sector 3. They come round the Arabiatas now. And again, just trying to maximise that pace through the corners. Phil Vella in the chat saying, looks like a super interesting combo, though. I assume he means
Definitely.
the track
We've got
and car
another
combo.
that's going off as well as we speak. And that's Brad Doble on the back of Bruce Tannock and then on the back of Stone Street. The three of those are starting to fight it out. Doble is down to 0.2 and 0.3, drifting between the 2 to 3 tenths from the back of Bruce, putting a lot of pressure. But it hasn't slowed Bruce down at all. Bruce's time is keeping that 5 to 6 tenths on the back of Stone Street. So maybe they should be working together at this point and trying to catch Stone Street. Maybe all three of them should be working together trying to catch Jared Cifuentes, who was right on the back of Ty Delaney now.
You can see there is pressure coming from all angles, even in a smaller field than we're used to. There's still these little battle packs that start to form, Steve, and we start to see these little gems of, of just these little arm wrestles, as I mentioned, that start to come about. And, heap of racing room left from the majority of them on their competitors. We've only seen, two real little, they've kind of pushed a little bit too far. Unfortunately, it involved Miles Burgess both times.
He's in the pits again for some reason.
Yeah, I think he's actually, I think he may have pulled out at this point. He's been in there since lap 3. Oh, no, he's come back out. Oh, no, yeah, he had an off track previously, so we'll quickly get the replay up. See what he's done. Oh, and he's just, has he looped it around here and put it in the wall? Yeah, he looks like he's
got a bit of damage at the front.
Oh, he's actually rolled it.
Oh, my God. I hope it wasn't in VR. That's a bit of a mess in VR. Haven't seen someone roll a V8 for a while, probably because I haven't been driving it.
We need to send that clip into iRacing.
Yeah, he's actually fighting damage there. So you can see him as he was coming around that other corner. He's fighting. He's got a front end damage there, but then it gripped up and turned him over.
Back on board
we'll
now.
Have to give him the stack of the year so far. Phil, now it looks like a super interesting combo. Yes, it is, mate. Phil, thoughts on the new F3 coming out with the Halo? Oh, look at this. Oh, he's just missed on his brake marker there, the old Mag and Turbo, and it's given Brad Doble the opportunity to get side by side, but you can't get past that old Wildcat so easy. He just puts the elbows out and off you go. Oh, Doble thought about it, but there would have been contact before he got any pass going at all.
So this must have been how he got it done, because he's actually managed to get ahead of Tanek. I think it might be on the exit of this corner, possibly. Oh no, I thought he was ahead of him.
Still there behind him, fighting away.
See it here, back on board now with Doble, just trying to get back up onto the back of Tanek. Bring that pressure onto him now. Dodsey still under immense pressure here from Delaney. Battle just starting to heat up. Sanfuentes wants to add some spice to it. And just allow us to get some good triple threat action here up for P2.
We're gonna have to get in the lobby's car and have a bit of a chinwag with him just to keep him awake. He's that far ahead.
Yeah, I know. Well,
your mate Jackson, he always comes in to give you crap.
Yeah. Would you say this track is made for these cars, Hamish? Well, I think it's a great track combo, Jackos. And I think it always just it's offered up some great racing for us over the last sort of 2 races that I've called with Supercars here. And yeah, I don't know, somehow MotoGP tracks, at least for the majority, actually suit the supercar well. I don't know what it is. Like, you get good racing at Phillip Island, You get good racing kind of, here at Mugello and others alike as well. I'd say the only one really that doesn't quite suit the car is maybe the modern build of Silverstone. But even then we saw some good battles in the last 2 races of the season from the Pro-Ams and the regular Tuesday series. So, I think they're, maybe it's the build of the cars. I don't know, that suits them a little bit better.
Look at the gap that that Lobby's got. Can you just check to see if he's still breathing? Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, he is. He's coming up into turn 1.
He's a full straight ahead of these boys right now. He's just going for it. He could choose right now, toss a coin in the air and go, I'll go 2 stops just for the fun of it. Just to make it a bit more interesting for himself. Because he can quite easily do it now with the pace he's got out there. His last lap was a 1:50.19, which I thought everyone would be sitting at about the 150s. And the next boys behind him are 151s, 151.2. So he's doing all right. He's nearly a full second faster than everyone else. So he might just lap some people.
I'm sorry. I just had a nice little silent laugh to myself there because of both of Jack's previous comments in the chat. He's calling Lobby a sweat because he's pulled out a 6-second gap within 9 laps of the race. Oh, I love you, Jack.
Oh,
That's so good. But I mean, I think Coleman's currently off. He's off by about 5 seconds, I think, if the math is correct on what the gap could be. We're a quarter way through the race, and he's only about he's about 7 seconds ahead of them now. So if we times that by 4, then he's going to get to about, he'd be about 28 seconds actually ahead of them by the end of the race. So we'll have to wait and see how it's going to work out. Although if he goes for the 2-stopper, then there might be a little bit less than that, but we'll have to wait and see. But Delaney has now gotten past Dodsey here for P2. We'll get up the replay of how it happened. We have got an update from Race Control on an incident. iRacing black flag for car 123 speeding in pits. That is Bruce Tannick.
Oh, no. Oh, that was close. He just cut his nose off then, and Dodsey nearly lost it.
So we are. I've also just been told in the chat as well that Glossy Racing Team is looking at returning to SRW in the near future, so possibly a Season 2 return, even with some new drivers with them as well, coming into the series.
Always good. Our doors are always open. The more the merrier. There's I'll tell you what, it's very close. Dodsey he's got to be careful that, he's got in his mind now that he's got a young fella that just passed him, young whippersnapper, and he's got to be careful he doesn't overdrive it. Because if he overdrives it right now, he might come out the other end going, oops. Yeah.
Also, possible little exclusive here as well. There have been chatters of possibly getting one of my drivers into one of the Supercars series as well, Steve. But
really? Which one? You got drivers?
Yeah, my team.
What team's that, mate?
Simrigs Infinity Motorsport.
Simrigs Infinity Motorsport.
Yep.
I don't know if I heard that team in SRW.
We've never raced in SRW.
Can someone put him on silent and Toddy, where are you, mate? And then just back into the room, mate.
It'd be possibly my dad would be racing in the Supercars, which if you've seen any of my broadcasts that I call of his, I give him the most crap out of anybody that I call because he's held at a higher standard in my eyes. So
Pop us over to George Snow Street and Brad Doble, mate. Sorry to cut you off, but they're down to Brad Doble's down to 1/10 on the back of him at the moment, putting a fair bit of pressure on Stone Street. So one thing you can really watch on this track, and like every racing that we do, is the slight difference in lines that people take. It's the way they hit apexes a bit earlier or a bit later. It's really interesting to watch, and you'd think I'd learn something out of it, but no. Here he goes. Doble's trying to take it on the inside line. He's got the pace. Whoa, Jesus, he had the pace coming down that hill.
Oh, but Stone Street wants a back around the outside. Not quite close enough this time
great
by,
bit of pace. He got a great launch out of that last corner, didn't he?
He did.
That was sensational. What was his speed then? That looked really fast. I'll tell you what, I watched back the 86s while I was working the other day, and that track really made the cars look fast, which is amazing. Most tracks when you watch the 86s, they're fairly slow, But Thursday night's race, they looked fast, and it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun out there.
That was out at Road Atlanta, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Somehow Road Atlanta makes everything look fast, even though it's a long circuit, and it feels like
narrow parts in the camera angle.
Like you race that circuit. I find, at least whenever you run laps around there, it almost feels like it's 2 tracks put into one, and like because it is obviously a 2-minute lap time in most cars, you feel like you're doing 2 laps at a time when you're not. You're only doing 1. Oh, okay. It's a good question here from Jackals. What's our favourite liveries in the series?
I'll tell you in a sec, though, because you're going to just jump on to Ty Delaney and Harry Dodds again. Doddsy is putting pressure on Ty like you would not believe. He's got it down to 1 to 2 tenths, and he's been there for a little while now. But Gerard Cifuentes has caught these guys up as well, so it's made a 3-way battle. Look at the gap, man. 9.6 seconds to Lobby.
I know, it is just starting to extend out a little bit now. I reckon Lobby's on a nice little Sunday drive at the moment. He's just enjoying himself, getting a good chunk of points. Doddsy wants it possibly up the inside of Delaney. So these guys continue to wrestle back and forth for P2 in this race.
Tell you what, I thought Cifuentes was going to dive in there as well while he had the door open.
Just to answer your question, Jack Oz, I think, which of my favourite liveries out there? It's kind of hard to say. Yeah, I like Lobbies. I think it's hard to say without everyone out there for me to kind of double check on. I really like Blake Delaney's Fishy livery. I think that is one of their best ones they've done, where it's like it's similar to their IMSA liveries, but like the colour combo of the black, Dayglow green, and the silver. I don't know. I think I don't mind Cowie's actually. I think Cowie's is actually a bit of a sleeper pick. I like the purple look on that performance sim racing car. It's a nice look. Another one I like as well is the racecraft cars as well.
Yeah, it's gone a bit.
I think it's better than their last ones.
I preferred the last one to this one, to be honest.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah. I don't know what. There's something about this one. It's just, I don't know.
Your favourite livery is obviously the safety car livery, isn't it, Steve?
No, it's a good livery. That's a good livery right there.
It is.
That's
nice.
a very good livery. See how the brand MRP stands out really nice and clean. It's not over cluttered. The car's not over cluttered. There's nice accents of the colours. That's what I call a good livery. Something that promotes your brand really well, and it's not too much, crap all over it. I don't like cars with crap all over them, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, I think a nice, somewhat like, even though Lobbies is still quite detailed, it looks kind of simple from afar, so it kind of actually works to his advantage.
The detail is very not as contrasty, so it doesn't stand out. Which is
I would say, and this is not a knock on Brad, as we now have Stone Street and Sam Fuentes into the pits. I think Brad's could use a little bit of work, just personally, just based on the fact it's a base color, and then just the sponsors are on there, but it's kind of just paste on there. It's a bit of a club livery, I think.
Well, you know what? It's about the message at the end of the day.
That's it.
And you know what? It's working. The message stands out. It does stand out. Oh, here we go. Cifuentes and Troy Street have pitted.
Cifuentes has managed to come out ahead of him. Jordan, no, we've spoken about food way too much on recent broadcasts. We're not talking about food now. Maybe if we get a safety car, we can go back to the old food safety car period again. I personally prefer the royalties livery. Oh, Crummies. So Crummington the third. I don't mind it. I'm not a big fan of like big numbers on the side of the cars. I think it's too NASCAR for me. I was upset though in the period of time when the supercars went from having the kind of smaller numbers on the side of the car to having no numbers. I really did like when they had the numbers on the side of the car because they were almost like a perfect size. I don't mind it so much now that they're not on there, but I did prefer it when they had the numbers on the car, personally.
Oh, you're the legendary Porno 5.
Not even just that, just like
that was just crazy
like
nice.
the 888 cars, we had the 888 was kind of laid out on the car, even the HRT cars as well, like when Scaife and Kelly were driving there. Something about
Doble's in, mate. Doble's in.
He is in
so
indeed.
A couple of these boys are now going for two-stop strategies. So we've got Cifuentes, Troy Street.
Stone Street.
have gone in for the 2-lap strategy. So has Brad Doble. They're going to see what happens now with the undercut or overcut when it comes out for everyone else. Lobby, I reckon, will go for a 1-stop.
If you pay your entry, Jackos, then you both can, I would say. Would that be a fair assumption, Steve? If Jordan, yeah. So if you pay your entry, you can join.
Yeah.
Four rounds left in the series. Obviously, Tuesday and Sunday nights. If you get put into Pro-Am, you get to race in both. If you get put in Pro, you only get to race on the Sunday. If you get put into Am, you only get to race on the Tuesday. But personally, I think Jack would get put in Pro-Am and Jordan would probably be an amateur at this stage. He doesn't drive the supercar very much. But 4 rounds is, plenty of time, I think, to learn the car a bit more. That's your personal design choice if you're going to run that as a livery.
One of them beats the topic. Cowie is playing a smart race tonight. He's just thinking about the amount of points he needs for the title, and he's in the Am lead, the Pro-Am lead at the moment. On track again, so he's putting himself in a really good position. He's got Kyle Zink behind him.
Is that for Sundays or is that for Tuesdays, or are they considered the same?
Separate.
Oh,
They're separate.
Yeah.
So he's putting himself in a really good title position for both at the moment. That might be a very first, but he's sitting in first position. He doesn't need to catch Delaney. All he's got to do is just drive a nice clean race and maintain the gap on Kyle Zink. Here we go. Lobby has gone into the pits.
So he's committing to the
24th minute mark.
Yep. So
Yeah.
20.
I think he's made that call late. Yeah. I think he's
yeah.
thought, Margaret, I'm just going to have a pit. I can't be bothered fuel saving anymore. Let's make it interesting.
Yeah,
Let's see where he comes out.
So
he's going to come out in the middle of the pack, and he's going to have to do some racing, which he's going to be happy with.
That's probably what he wants as well, to have a nice little battle at this stage. So 26 minutes into proceedings. Lobby's committing to the 2-stop. Well, I reckon Cowie might be going for that 1-stop again.
He is.
Possibly.
He is definitely going for the 1-stop.
Yeah, we'll see if Zink and Crummy follow with him, or if they also come in prior to the halfway point of the race.
Well, Cowie, Lobby's got the pace to do a 2-stop, man. There's no doubt about it. He was 10 seconds ahead. His second stop will probably be 10 seconds shorter because he won't need as much fuel. So he's just going to get in and out there, and no worries, catch you later. That was a 14-second pit, and pit lane travel 24.25. So he's taken fuel, he's done whatever he needs to do. He's going to come out there and have some fun.
Yeah, so he's not really going to lose too much time. He was 54.2 was the lane travel for him, including the pit stop time, and then there's the time there. 24.2 was the pit stop. So it could be. He's going to be able to make up that time fairly reasonably. Jordan, he is possibly the most famous man in the field. He is the only man that I know of, apart from any of the fishy drivers with his own fan club, that being Luke Crum. Running here and behind Kyle Zink, putting a good battle in at this stage, and just trying to keep it clean.
Where's Crummy? Are they all doing scops tonight?
Well, Crummy's here. Whitaker's not.
Oh, not Crummy. Whitaker and
Dyson is.
Kirby.
I know
Kirby,
Dyson is.
Kirby, I'll take him off.
Possibly. Yeah. I'd have to check the pre-qualifying list.
That's okay. Here we go. Dodds and Ty have gone in. Let's see. And
so
followed there was
Zink
Kyle
and
Zink
Crummy.
and Luke Crum. Yep. Cowie stayed out. So Cowie's actually aiming for a outright podium position tonight.
Yep.
Let's see how these boys come out.
He's gotten to, I believe he pitted on lap 16 in the race on Tuesday. So he's going to go for the exact same strategy again tonight. Worked out for him on Tuesday. I don't know if we're going to get an extra lap in or not, being that we are going to get to the end of lap 16 at half an hour. So it is looking more like we're going to get 32 laps once again. And being that Lobby's going for the 2-stop, I'd say we're more than likely going to get that happen, but I'll have to wait and see how it works out. But Cowie now in the lead. Crummy, Zink, Tomlin are all into the pits. Crummy and McAvoy, the only two to pit tonight. So at least at this stage for a first stop. So they're both committing to that 1-stop at this stage.
Same as Tyson. Still there on the 1-stop strategy.
Yep.
Not that it's doing him much good, to be honest.
Oh, he'll just be trying to make up any free positions he can at this point in time. Crummy's come out of the pits right behind him.
We're talking a pit will be, the second pit will be what?
It should be the same as the first stop.
No, you're taking less fuel. You're taking less fuel.
That's true. We'll have to see,
Yeah,
we'll
like,
have to see
remember
what
last time when
Cowie's
Lobby-
run is
Yeah.
when he actually comes in. That'll... Oh, McAvoy's put it in the wall!
What happened there? He's lost the concentration. He's...
So is he already carrying... I think he's already carrying damage. And he's just driven it too fast around the corner. Pushed it a bit too hard.
He was already missing the bonnet, and he's just missed the pit lane too.
No, I think he's still right. Cowie's gone an extra lap.
Yep.
So he's going even longer than what he did on Tuesday.
Yep. He would have been planning on this all week, mate. He would have been planning this all week. Let's listen to his car. He's fuel saving like crazy. He really wants to be out there. He needs these boys. These boys are going to be, what do we say, 55 was Lobby's, how long was Lobby's pit? 52, did you say?
54.2 was the lane travel.
54. So you're going to, with the pit and the lane travel, your second pit stop's going to be probably around the 44, high 30s. So you're going to have 10 seconds saved. So he's got a gap now on these boys of 15 seconds on Lobby, but Lobby's not going to, I mean, he's going to catch up to him, there's no doubt there. But Cifuentes is at 23, so it might just still work for him. He might be able to get himself in the top 3. And don't forget, he was in 5th place when these boys come out for their pit strategies.
What the question is now, though, so he's a 14-second gap back to Lobby. He's been out. Lobby came in lap 14, currently lap 17, so he's been out an extra 3 laps.
Oh, did you hear that clutching?
Yeah. So
is he out of fuel?
No, he's still going.
Jeez, I thought he was out then.
No, I think he will need to come in this lap, though. What he's probably doing is he's probably limiting the amount he's actually going to have to save on that next stint, because he wants to be able to keep the gap up. You know, we saw him. He had the pace over Crosby on Tuesday. He was able to push that a little bit longer. That's what he's trying to do now. He doesn't want to. He wants to try and take any advantage that Lobby may have for lap times over him. So he comes in the lane. We'll sit on ball with him.
He's done 17 laps on that tank. That's well done.
So he's actually adjusted for the possibility of an extra lap by coming in this lap later. So that's what he's adjusted for. Here's Lobby. He takes back the lead of the race.
Yep.
Here's Sam Fuentes around the final corner.
Sam Fuentes is in there for 17.2. But these boys are all going to have to pit again, yeah? So they're going to have to lose another 30 to 40 seconds for another pit. Whereas Cowie's not going to need to. So anyone who's within that 30 to 40 seconds in front of Cowie when he comes out is in trouble.
I just want to apologise for my mates being absolute larrikins in the chat right now.
No, it's all good, mate. It's all good.
So they're giving me a good laugh at this stage in time anyway, so...
so Cowie has come out 37 seconds, right, behind the lead. So that's pretty good, mate. That's pretty good.
Yeah, could be on
that's within
here.
the pit window.
Yeah.
That's gonna be these boys coming out right on top of each other. He just needs to make some ground on these boys. He's got some clean air.
I don't think he's going to be able to challenge for a win, but he's
he
definitely
won't be
challenging for
but
P2
definitely
again.
a podium hunt.
Yeah.
Definitely a podium hunt, 100%.
Well, Johnny, what you have missed is some great strategy plays at this time, and also some nice little battle packs that have been forming. Delaney and Stone Street are now in a nice tight battle. They've got Dodsey in behind, so Stone Street's actually managed to jump them in the pit stop by going that little bit earlier. He also did a slightly shorter stop, though. It was 17 seconds for his stop. Delaney was 24 seconds. Dodsey was 23. So Stone Street gained about 7 seconds on it, being that he took less fuel because he came in earlier. So what it could mean now is he may be able to go just that little bit. He might be able to come in at the same time as them, but he's going to have to take a longer stop to do so.
That was really picking his point, and really, that was very brave by young Ty there. Very brave.
And Dodsey wants it as well. He wants to try and maximise the run. Stone Street's in.
Oh, he's in. Oh, that could have caused a lot of havoc then. That was... I like the way Stone Street did that. But it's given Harry and Ty a battle of their own now. will Doddsy have a sniff here or wait till the next lap?
I think he might wait. He'll just want to
Yeah.
try and maximise staying on the back of Ty, keeping the pressure on him. I mean, he doesn't necessarily need to go for the move just yet. He knows that they both need a pit. It may be smarter for him just to sit in behind Ty, save that little bit of fuel and take less fuel on the stop and get the strategy advantage over the young fella going forward.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if you can do that to Ty. He's a very smart driver. He's a young boy, but his racing mind is a lot older than he is, that's for sure. He's been around these fish for some time now, and he hears them talking, and he's a little sponge. He picks up strategies, he picks up tactics. He's very, very cluey. Very cluey.
What would be interesting is if he would ever get the benefit from going to another team in future, right? So if he were to go to a DPR, if he would go to a Trans-Tasman and learn from those drivers as well, and how much better he could actually get.
At some point, yes, I think so. But he's still in development mode.
Yeah, I don't think right now.
I think
in the future.
once he's at the point where he's beaten the pants off these boys and he's faster than Freo and the rest of these guys, I think then he'll need to look at. I'm not saying they're not professional. These guys are amazing, but I'm talking about the really, really fast guys. You know, he needs to be in and around them, just to sort of push himself that little bit more. I mean, you've got to race with fast guys, trace with fast guys to be faster, and he's up the pace there with a lot of the fishy boys now.
Well, I mean, we saw him with battling it out with Michael Whiting last week out at Silverstone. Like, he was matching him for pace. So
yeah, I reckon he's another 2 seasons away from that, though. At least his progression has really, really increased in this last 12 months. But yeah, I think the safe bet is keep it as it is for the next 2 seasons. Get some more grounding. Get the race smart. That's what you need. Being out on track and knowing what to do. The pace will come later on anyway.
I guess maybe the Jack has just signed up for a 12-month Red Joe, so they will be able to join us possibly for the next Supercars race, depending on where they are graded. So we'll see how that turns out for them. What I think will be the telltale sign, Steve, is when Ty is consistently faster than his dad. You know, when he's consistently able to beat his dad, beat him by 1 or 2 seconds per lap. That'll be the telltale sign of when it might be time for him to move on to a, not bigger and better things, but to a team that's got, you know, like a Madison Down or a James Scott in their team, which can help him push to that next level.
Yeah, no, agreed. Maybe even a change of car, maybe go to a GT series or something like that.
Maybe. We have seen him have a go at the prototypes as well in IMSA, so, you know, maybe that's the case too.
Go international, go early. Looking at this timetable at the moment, Cifuentes has got himself up in front of Doble purely by going in that lap earlier for the pits. So he's undercut him there. Ty Delaney and Harry Dodds are... Oh, look, they're still a fair way. They're still, 1.4 away from Doble to get back into that fighting bit. But Cowan, I'm interested to see how he's going to progress. He's 3.6 off the pace of Luke, but Luke's 20 seconds behind Harry Dodds and Ty Delaney at the moment. Cowan needs to get on the back of him ASAP.
That's our current gap to the leader. Cowie is 44 seconds off the back of Darren Lobb, who currently sits in P number 1 on a nice little Sunday drive here tonight. So we would expect Lobby to come in fairly shortly, possibly. He came in on lap 15. And again, he wouldn't want to come in too late because he saw that hurt Jamie Davis the other night when trying to contest with the 2-stop strategy. So I would say Lobby's going to want to come in with at least 15 minutes to go, maybe only 10 minutes based on his pace advantage, just so he can try and catch up to Cowie if Cowie manages to get into first place after he comes into the pits. So it's also going to mean he's going to be able to take a little bit less fuel, being that he won't have as much space in the tank to put the fuel in. But we know that if he has got a full tank, he can get home from this point. So going to be interesting to see. What we'll do is we'll go on board with him here for a lap. We'll let you guys listen to the car, enjoy the sounds, and we will be back after he finishes this lap here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, back from our little drink break there. Able to sit on board with Darren Lobb. We can see the smooth inputs that he was running all across that lap. What we're on board with now is Tyson McAvoy, who is the first under pressure from the leader to get lapped in this race, although we know that Lobby will need another stop, and Tyson is good for a one-stop strategy at this point in time. Sam Fuentes, Dobble, and Doddsy are all in.
Harry, yeah. All go in. Ty decided to stay out and see if you can get a bit of pace on him and get out there. I was about to say before we took off, lap 23 is going to be the next time I see these guys pit somewhere around there, and exactly on mark. So this is going to give Cowan the ability to get back up there. Let's see what it costs Cowan, because don't forget that Crummy's going to have to pit as well. So he's already got himself. I think Tyson's going to get himself a podium tonight in the big leagues. I think his strategy has worked. The extra lap he's done has worked. I'm pipping Tyson to go second on the podium tonight.
Yeah, as in Ty Delaney.
No,
Cowie,
Cowie, yeah, Cowie. I think Ty will come out third, because Ty's got to go in there now. He's got a lap down. He needs to still see if he's got enough pace to get out in front of these boys that Harry Dodds, Gerard Fuentes and Troy Stone Street when he has to go to the pit. So he's got to be hell for leather right now. His last lap was a 1:49.6. So that's the second, the second fastest, third fastest lap of the night behind Brad Doble. So he needs to maintain that and get out there so that he can undercut them or overcut them.
Well, actually, in fact, Sam Fuentes has also done a 49.5, so it is actually the... I mean, it's not too far off the third fastest lap. He's still right. Like, obviously, it's a blink, and, you know, that's the difference. But as Ty comes in, so he's come in the pits. I was going to say he doesn't want to go much longer because he, again, you want to give yourself time to battle.
Can we see him and the main straight at the same time?
Depends where his box is. So that's where he's...
There we go. That's it.
No. There we go.
Yep. That's it. Let's see. We are looking to see where Cowie comes. And we want to see where Harry Dodds and Doble and Cifuentes comes.
Crummy stayed out.
Those boys. Here we go.
There's Cowie.
There's Cowie. He's got himself in the second place.
He's gone past Delaney. And there you can see Delaney in the background.
Here comes Doble. Oh, look at this. Doble, Dodds coming out at the same time. Oh, they're going three wide here. He's under brace. He's going to have to give... Oh, Jesus Christ, that was close. He's maintained some good pace on there on cold tyres coming through. And, hesitated a bit, but 3 wide of these boys, he might just be able to stick. He has. Doble's thought better of it and let him go through. Whoa, that was a bit of tight driving coming out of the pits there, mate.
Oh, mate, that was a real wince, and hope that, fingers crossed they make it through and they manage to. Great to have Jason Douglas in the chat as well. Great to have you, Jace. Thank you for saying
Jason,
hello.
why aren't you on track?
Yeah, why aren't you on track? Where are you? Where's your dad? Get you both out here. Cut some laps of this.
Been on too. What's going on, mate? Here we go. Doble's trying to take the outside line, get a bit more momentum as he comes through this corner. Oh, Ty's really battling those tyres still. It's going to take him at least another lap to get him done, but he needs to be able to maintain the gap in front of Doble and not lose that position if he wants to get out for the podium tonight.
Can you believe that Jace has gone down the beach instead of getting on the rig? Absolutely disappointing display from him.
Well, the difference between people who want to be champions and people who don't want to be champions is the beach.
That's true. He has said he'll be back next Sunday, though, of course. Massive latter half of the season coming up for us here in Supercars land, ladies and gentlemen. Rest of the season is looking like this. We've got Motegi coming up next week. That should offer us some absolutely ballistic battles out there. Then we go to Hockenheim the week after. Next week will be a sprint round. Hockenheim is a regular round again, so another hour-long contest. Then we go Magny Court for round number 8 for a sprint round, and then we end it all out at Sebring for our massive enduro round. That will be including a top 10 shootout, and that'll be just a great crescendo to the end of this season as well.
Really looking forward to top 10 shootouts. I missed them, mate.
Yeah, maybe we can try and get. I know we've spoken about previously about organising some season break content happening for you guys, possibly running a mini championship across the year, one race between every single season, where they're all different types of cars. And well, maybe this time by Steve, we can kind of try and figure out a nice little enduro type race to happen between season 1 and 2. Maybe it's Supercars, maybe it's something else that we don't even offer quite yet.
We have been talking about it in the back end, my brother and I. It's this week we'll pull the trigger on it. I think if we do it, we just got to get the right formula and get it the right way, because we don't want to do it the wrong way. We're all about doing things right.
I reckon, and this would only work out if we've spoken about Carrera Cup at length coming into this series possibly. I reckon if it were to come in next season, what a great way to intro it to SRW than have that be the first round of the Enduro series. Have a little precursor to that series coming in if we were going to run that, Nice little Carrera Cup, 300 Ks, top 10 shootout.
Yeah, Carrera Cup's interesting. I miss the Porsches. We haven't had Porsches for a while. I'm just looking at the timetable, mate. Crummy came in a lap after Lob. Do you reckon he can make it on one stop?
I don't know. I don't know if he can.
He doesn't look like he's coming in anytime soon.
I think about it this way, Steve. Cowie went to lap 17. He came in lap 16 last time, and he managed on a one stop. So if Cowie can go one stop and manage to go 2 extra laps on one stint tonight, why can't Crummy?
Yeah, exactly.
It
could be Crummy. Could be the peg in the hole. It's he's a fair way back there. He's Cowie is catching him, but Crummy's just about to. He's going to start lapping the whole field soon.
Well, he is.
Lobby.
Oh yeah, Lobby's got a 50-second gap back to Crummy at the moment. He does need a pit again, we would say. We'll have to wait and see. He's coming though, so he's committed to the stop.
He's pitting. All right, this is going to be a key. His gap on Cowan is 53 seconds. All right, so his pit is going to be, I think I estimated around 40 seconds total. Let's see how he comes out. He should come out in front of both of them.
We've got his pit stop time up on screen so we can keep track. It's not a shorter stop than last time, though. That's interesting. It's looking like it's going to be... and actually, no, currently it is shorter. It is shorter. Yep, sorry. It was a 9-second stop, 9.8 seconds.
Full 10 seconds like I picked.
Yep, 39 seconds was the lane travel, so it's now just a straight run home for Mr. Lob.
How was that for a guess, mate?
I know. Yeah, you absolutely matched it. What's interesting now is, though, so Cowie's committed to the one stop, but now he's got pressure in behind from the two stoppers of Dodds, Delaney, and Doble, who have all completed their pit stops here tonight. So we're going to have an absolutely fantastic battle on our hands. Has going that extra lap longer allowed Cowan to have enough fuel in the car to push long enough that he can actually stay ahead of them without needing to fuel save?
Well, at the moment they're a whole second faster than him in lap times. The last lap he did a 150.9. They did 149.7. So they've been catching him for a little while now. So they're right on the back of him now, and he's got 3.9 on the back of Crummy. And Crummy is 17 seconds now behind Lob. Lob went in there with, what did I say?
It was 9.8 seconds.
49, I think it was.
39.85 was the lane travel.
Yeah, and he was 49 seconds ahead, or actually more, 59 seconds ahead, sorry, before that. So he's done really well. Excuse me. So Cowan's going to be under pressure here. Crummy's got himself into a pearler position. I don't know how he did it.
This is just what happens when you're such a famous man in a real World Series. Doddsy wants it up the inside of Cowie. Can he get it done here through 10 and 11? He wants it up towards turn 12.
Three of them here.
And it looks like he's going to get eaten
take
alive.
advantage of him. Oh, he's got stuck on the outside. All three have stayed real close, and they've pinned him to the outside. Oh, he got mugged then. He got absolutely mugged.
I tell you what,
he's not giving it away to Doble. He's put the foot down. He's not giving it away.
That was smart by Delaney just to hook it up in behind Doddsy, force Cowie to stay on the outside, and he copped himself a free position. That right there is a great example of how you can let one of your opponents just drag you forward into a better position. And now it's going to be on for Doddsy and Delaney here for P3 in this race. If Crummy has to pit, it'll be for P2. But the answers have not been given yet to the questions on hand. Does Crummy need a pit or not? Delaney up the inside at one.
Nice move. Oh, Cowan's gone. He's nearly hit him. He's locked up. Christ, that was close. He's opened the door for Doble, though. Oh, my God. I thought that was going to be a three-way jumble mess then.
Cowie tried to match Delaney's move on him the lap prior, and unfortunately just overcooked it. Came in a bit too hot. Lucky not to take Dodds or Doble with him.
Yeah.
So he was very lucky off the back of that, and now he's just dropped a heap of spots. So I think just pushing that little bit too hard.
He's still leading the Pro-Am, so he can't forget that, you know. And he's got a 2.2 seconds on Gerard Cifuentes, and then Troy Stonestreet's behind them. So he's still got himself the podium for the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, he's P2 in that class at this stage. Is it provisional P1 or does Crummy need to pit? So,
Crummy's getting gapped by Lobby even more now. That was 14 seconds before. Now it's up to 22 seconds. Lobby's doing last lap. Oh, hang on, sorry, that's still his out lap at 2:08. The rest of the boys are all sitting at 152. Luke Crumb's on the 152.6. The rest of the boys are doing 151.1s. So they're going to catch him in 3 laps, 2.5 laps. They're going to be in the back of Lukey Crumb. And then Crumbly's going to have to decide, am I going to sit here and battle with these guys, or am I going to go and pit?
So Lobby's last time was a 48.2. So he's just a bit... Oh, he's come in, so he's had to pit.
He's in. He's pulled the trigger. I think you can see them catching him, and I think that's the right time to do it. You can see them catching him, go in there, get out there. Let's see where he's coming out from. He's going to come out behind Troy Stonestreet as well, I think, by the time he travels out.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely still be on the podium for the Pro-Ams. Because I don't think his teammate's going to be quite close enough to get past him, possibly. But now what we have in our hands is a 3-way dance for P2 of this race. An overall podium, but also a pro podium. Delaney, Dodds, Doble. 1v1v1, all for the final 2 podium positions. I doubt Lobby's going to make a mistake.
Yeah.
So it's going to be up to these boys now to try and claim the best of the rest points in this affair tonight. 6 minutes to go in the race, lap 29. Where is Lob on track? He's just coming up through turn 12. So I'd say we're probably going to get 3 more laps, possibly. I think we're going to go to 32. I doubt we're going to get to 33.
Is this Lob winning the first 4 rounds? 5 rounds?
He's won a race at every single event so far.
Yes, he has. He didn't win the round on the.
He didn't
on the
necessarily
night we had
win
the
the
sprint.
round, but he's at least won a race.
Yeah. The only round he hasn't won is the sprint round. He didn't win it outright, but he got a win.
So back to our battle now with Delaney, Dodds and Doble. So it's good to see that even though we're a bit undernumbered here tonight, Steve, we're still getting some good battles on track, and the pace of drivers is still getting them close together and giving us some good fighting on our hands. Cowie is now in behind his teammate Sam Fuentes.
Yeah, that's Fuentes just passed him.
Yeah.
But he's still holding on.
See here, Delaney covers the inside line from Dodds up into turn 1. Immense pressure from the Frog on the Fish. It's a bit of a battle in the pond at the moment. Doble's just along for the ride. Coleman said, "Oof, I said Lob on the field, 25 seconds on the field." It is 20. It's going to get longer than that. He's 26 seconds ahead, so
he'll be like 30 to 34.
Yeah.
By the time that's done, he is in another world on his own tonight. Actually, he's been in another world on his own all season. This season, he's driven exceptionally well. I want to see you out here, Coleman, and I want to see you focused and getting some clean laps in. Oh, Harry's just having a bit of a sniff there.
Not quite close enough this time by. Now that we are at the 5-minute marker to the end, no more safety cars in this one. In fact, it is 4 minutes to the end of this race. Big thank you does go out to our series sponsors, of course, Warren & Brown Tools, Shannon's Insurance, Motorsport Australia, NeuroPower, DSL Rail Services, Grim Industries and Shunt Scenery, as well as our safety car sponsor, the promo department as well. Big thank you for supporting the series, and everyone who has allowed us into their homes or into their work, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for joining us here tonight for the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button, hit subscribe and the bell icon as well, so you are notified anytime we go racing across all 6 nights we do. Any engagement we get, whether you're getting into the chat on the live stream or into the comments section of the streams when they're done, will help us grow the series, grow the channel and grow the league to help bring you some absolutely immense racing action, as it is 3 minutes to go. Lap 31, and I'd say it's going to be 2 more laps.
Yeah, these boys are not giving it up either way here. Dodds, he's just biding his time to make a dive on the young fish here, but Doble is just sitting there waiting to see if one of these boys make a mistake as well. He's got to stay close enough that when Doddsy goes for it and doesn't make it, he's going to be there to pick up the pieces.
So the safety car's just hopped into pits, but we don't have any more safety cars tonight, so they've just hopped in the car, I think, just to check out what's happening possibly in the car, or just to get a feel for it, even though they didn't get to drive it here tonight. But this is our battle at hand.
I think Thomas Freeman's our safety car driver tonight.
Yeah, Barber was the one that hopped into the car, so it's listed as Freeman as the steward, and then I think Barber goes out in the safety car possibly. I'm not 100% sure. We haven't had the safety car in a couple of weeks, so
yeah. I
think next week down at Betegi we might see
just something different. Tannock's in the back of Tomlin, having a bit of a crack. He's down the 310s. He's had. I'd like to see Bruce up the pointy end of the series. He's had a bit of a rough trot of late. He's faster than that, so I'm not sure whether it's lack of practice or what it is, but I'd like to see him back up the pointy end like he was a few seasons ago. Coleman, you're not too slow, mate. You still got championship quality in you. You still got a flask coming. That's a champion.
Must say, actually, you know what? Jacko's asked us what our favourite livery was in the entire field. My favourite one is Coleman's, just for having "Where's my flask" sinker on the side of it. It is the final lap of the race, confirmed by race control, ladies and gentlemen. So white flag is this time by. So Lobby's only got 1 lap more on his little Sunday night drive around the wine country of San Sierra. Can't even remember the exact name of the city that we're in.
He should drift the rest of this lap down, just sideways.
Oh,
drift
but
it
then,
all the way through.
That's putting in risk, though. That means he could put it in the wall or get it off track and then lose the win.
why not live dangerously?
Oh,
Here we
maybe.
go. Dodsy's got pressures from Dodsy and Brad Doble and good old Tyre still going for it, man. It's crazy. They've been down to 4/10s, 3/10s consistently, following each other. So close as.
Where's Lobby? He's coming up through turn 12. So he's only got 3 corners left to becoming the only man to take a win at every single round this season. He's at least won one race at every single outing that we've had in the Pro-Am on Sunday nights. Round the final he comes now. Right final corner he comes for one last time. He'll cross the line just after the hour marker ticks over. Flashing of the lights and a dominant win from DPR for Darren Lobb here out at Mugello. We'll head back to our battle though with Delaney, Dodds and Doble. This is not over quite yet. One corner to go for Delaney to get into a very impressive P2 here tonight. Doddsy currently P3. Final corner they come round. Doddsy not going to quite have the run down to the straight that he would like on the young minnow. As they come down towards the line, it's Delaney P2, Doddsy P3. Doble only just misses out. And then back to our Pro-Am. Sam Fuentes will take another impressive victory this season with Cowie in P2. And Crummy is looking like he's going to come home in a lonely but impressive run to P3 for the Pro-Ams here tonight.
Well, as usual, mate, there is entertainment packed all the way through. I hope the viewers enjoyed it. We certainly did. And thank you for the viewers that were out there watching tonight. It's good to be able to talk to people, not just me and you, mate.
Yeah, it's good to get the chat involved as well, and hopefully.
Well done, Crummy. It's a really good drive by Luke Crum. Good to see him get up there. Whoa, wow, what a race. That was a, ladies and gentlemen, that was a lesson on how to drive by Darren Lobb.
Yeah.
God, man. I'm going to have to practice my South African accent.
Your South African accents.
South African accent, and he can feel like he's at home. Actually, that nearly went Scottish. Anyway,
don't
Mr.
get me
Lobb.
going on my Scottish accent as a man with a Scottish father. It's not even just going to be a fair game on that one, Steve. I'm going to be honest.
Oh, mate, you know, you got to remember, I grew up playing soccer with Scotsmen, mate, so my accents are pretty damn good all over the place. If you want me to talk like a wog, I'll talk like a wog, but that was spectacular. Look at this. Darren Lobb just absolutely torched this field tonight, people. Ty Delaney, the minnow, as you call him, exceptional job, and, you know, fought off a seasoned campaigner of Harry Dodds for 1, 2, and 3, and then teammates again, Gerard Fuentes and Andrew Cowan, 1 and 2, followed by Troy Stone Street from WKMP. So sensational driving out there. Let's put up the tab and show the people of the two groups that we have out there that put on an epic show for us.
There are our Pro-Ams. Only 2 of them did not finish the race. 4 of the 6 did get home. It was Sam Fuentes to Cowan to Crum to Tomlin for the Pro-Ams here tonight. Then over to our pros. Obviously, it was the dominant performance from Lobb to Delaney to Dodds to Doble to Stone Street to Tannock to McAvoy, who was the only car to go 1 lap down in tonight's proceedings. So we'll wait for the boys to get into the green room and come and have a chat to us. Obviously, if they want to.
Yeah, if they want to.
They may not.
I hope all the SRW boys that were competing in Scops tonight did really well. We always wish them the best when they're competing out elsewhere. Here's Lobby doing a bit of a drift sesh for us.
So coming up this week as well, ladies and gentlemen, obviously tomorrow night, big round of the Motorsport Australia Formula V's coming at you from Oran Park. I think I may have to tune in for that one there, Steve. I love me a bit of Oran Park, running a bit of an alternate layout, but I think the little matchboxes made in heaven could offer us up some high-quality action. Of course, I mentioned the Supercars going to Motegi across both series this week. Formula 3s will be heading out to Bathurst for the second Formula 1 Shadow round, as well as round number 6 of their season. So that's going to be an absolutely epic affair to check out. The 8.6s, of course, heading out to Sebring for the international circuit. So we're going to get a little bit of a preview with some tin tops around Sebring prior to the final round of the season for the Supercars. IMSA heads out to Daytona, an absolute fan favourite for those boys and girls. And I think it's going to offer us up some absolutely epic battles, being that there's been a lot of driving happening around there with not only the 500 previously in the NASCAR classes, but also the iRacing official 24-hour as well that happened last month. So that's going to offer us up some good driving. Obviously, later in the series, for that series as well, we have Sebring, which will be running in, alongside the official week of the Sebring 12-hour. So expect some great battles coming from those boys for that one as well. And then Sunday night, obviously, Motegi for the Supercars once again. And then rounding out for next Monday night, we continue on with the Formula V's for Summit Point for round number 6. So whole lot of racing action coming this week for us, and it's all going to be on offer right here on Sim Racing World TV.
Well, mate, we've got Lucky Crumb ready in the room, so let's bring him in for the third place driver in the Pro-Ams.
Let's drag him in.
Mr. Crumb, how are you, buddy?
Hey, boys, what's going on?
Oh, it's good.
Mate, we thought you were going to go for a one-stopper and get up there at the pointy end of the field with the big boys.
Mate, I honestly, if I looked into it a bit more, I might have fuel saved a bit. I tell you what, we've got to look into the parity of them Commodores, because I don't know how cow he did today.
Crummy, it feels good to
well.
finally.
17 laps he did.
It feels feels good to finally get to talk to the most famous man in the GR86 field in our own broadcast booth.
Come on,
mate. We mentioned it on the broadcast, mate, but from both me and Steve and SRW, congratulations on your little treasure that'll be coming into the world come August this year.
Thanks, mate.
So we'll be looking forward to hearing those stories of your late nights once again.
Yes.
How was it out there tonight? Obviously, a smaller field than we would expect usually. Obviously, running alongside Scops. How was Mugello? How was it out in this car? Did you think it was a good track combo alongside this car? How did you feel out there?
Well, apart from only getting the track today, it's good. It's a good. I like Mugello. I'm a bit of a MotoGP guy. I like watching Mugello. It's actually not too bad of a car out there. I was constantly chasing it. I was constantly chasing like brake bars and me roll bars and all that. So I didn't feel 100% comfortable, but obviously I had all right pace, so it wasn't a bad night. And it actually is a very good track once you get into the rhythm of it. I think I was just chasing my tail a little bit at the start there, but it's a fun track. Definitely good for racing.
Yeah, I think it's a track, isn't it, Steve, where it has a bit of a music about it. And once you get into that sound and you get into the rhythm of it, that's where you find the pace, and that's where you start to feel comfortable, and that's where you start to find those times get down and you get into those really good battles. So I think it really lends itself well to it, as a lot of other MotoGP tracks do. So we're just on the onboard with you, between you and the Contact and Miles, between you both there. Like the days of old back on Forza. So good to see you guys can magnetize together again.
Yeah, those are the days.
Well, Looky, who do you need to thank and get you out on track? And you got any sponsors that you need to yell out to and family?
Yeah, just the LCR boys. Everyone does their part in helping us all out. Obviously, Chops Remote Tech Support, On Track Ag, New Holland, and Buddha's Garage. Those guys do a good job. So thanks heaps to them, and thanks heaps to you boys for broadcasting tonight. I hope we made it a bit enjoyable. There was only 12 or 13 of us.
It was fun. Don't worry, it was a lot of fun.
Right.
A lot of battles.
We tried to put on a show for you anyway. I was running P2. I thought you were getting pretty excited about that. I was like, these boys will be going mad for this.
We were talking about it. We were talking about whether you were going to go for a one-stop. We thought, mate, at 15 laps, you took your pit. We thought, if he saved enough, he might be able to go. But, it's all right.
I've got a heavy right foot, mate. There's no chance of me fuel saving.
Mate, it was great to see you out there. Good to see you out in the room with a podium, mate. So congratulations.
Let's make a habit of it.
Good luck with the expansion to the family. And also good luck for next week, mate.
No worries, boys. Thanks heaps for that.
Thanks,
Take care, dude.
Catch yous.
We've just had a message from Darren Lobb in the chat saying, sorry, gents, got to run. Too hungover after Blink last night. That's all good, Lobby. Congratulations on the win, mate.
One of my favourite bands. I grew up with Blink 182, man.
He was, I suppose, it was lucky then he had a bit of an easier ride tonight. Being a bit hungover from it. So
he was probably dehydrated and everything, and trying to drink water at the same time.
I reckon we'll get Cowie and Gerard in at the same time, being they're from the same team.
I'll grab Gerard. You grab Cowie.
Yeah, no worries.
Mr. Gerard Cifuentes and Andrew Cowan, welcome to the broadcast booth. How are you, gents?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, the boys put on a great show as usual. There's some epic battles. Not so much for Lobby, but everyone else had their battles. Lobby was on a expression session tonight.
He's on another planet, that bloke.
Yeah, he's been like that all season. We're gonna have to get the rest of the boys to step up a bit and put up a bit of a battle for him for the rest of the season. But how did you guys feel out there? How was it?
It wasn't too bad. I thought it was just my middle sector, like stint. Sorry. I think I didn't click the tyres, so I really struggled on tyres in that second stint. It killed me a little bit. And Cow was trying the one stopper.
I went for the aggressive fuel save, so it was a one stopper on Tuesday night, but it was so close to going the extra lap. So tonight I did some practice before tonight to try and get 17 laps in. So I managed to do it, though I did make a mistake on my in lap. I think that cost me a few seconds.
Yeah.
And when the boys came out, they were only about 7 or 8 seconds behind me, and they were a second a lap quicker. So I knew they were going to catch me eventually. But
look, it was one of those
nights. Well, if I hadn't made that mistake, I might have been 13 or 14 seconds up the road, and that might have been a different story. But still a good race.
I think with the pace in this grid tonight compared to Tuesday night, as I said before the show, it's going to be really, really close. It wasn't as it was the extra bit of pace that you're running just burns for that fuel, and the other guys were just. There's two-stop strategies fast, but you got to be fast as well.
It was close to going an extra lap, though. If it went an extra lap, it's a whole different thing,
Yep, correct.
Someone was pushing Lobby, it would have went an extra lap for sure.
Oh yeah, he was still lapping some crazy laps, man. He was still doing 149s. Sure. It was like he was still where is he? 149. He was still a full second faster than third place.
It's impressive because not only doing that, but looking after tyres while you do it, because this place is a tyre killer. I found that doing the fuel saving strategy also meant that I saved tyres, so I still had decent pace at the end of the race. So I could still do 51s at the end of the race, but he was still doing 49s and 50s at the end of the race. That's just crazy.
Well, it's good to see the PSR boys putting up a real both hands on the trophy at the moment to take it home as a PSR team. That's for sure. And I think the point battle is between yourself, Gerard, and Cowie. I think that's where it's going to come down to for the rest of the season.
I've thought about not letting him through today, but he would have destroyed me anyway. My tyres towards the end of the race there were really horrible, and I think I must have overheated them when Harry and Brad and Ty came through.
Oh, they mugged you, mate. They mugged you.
Well, I'd overheat the tyres a few corners before, and I just ran wide and opened all three of them. So
I think
what
if
it
Doble
is.
would have stuck in behind Ty a little bit more, you would have had three past you then. But Doble just left enough room for you to get back in on the position.
Well, that was it. Look, I tried to. I wasn't going to let him have it, but I wasn't going to, deliberately, make it stupidly difficult and kill myself. So, but as I said, I just ran wide, and they were all three of them were able to go through. I think I stopped Brad, but then he got me a couple of corners later because my tyres were still over temperature, and I was losing the front there for about half a lap. But these things happen. It was good fun. I thought it was going to go an extra lap, so I just probably saved a bit too aggressive in the first stint and gave up a bit too much time. So, but again, it was that close on Tuesday night. So
you got to try it, mate. You got to try it.
The dice, yeah.
Yeah, you got to try it. There's nothing wrong with having a crack, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Who do you guys got to thank to get you guys on track?
Oh, well, I'll take it this time, Jerry. West End Motor Group, Parramatta Isuzu, Too Easy Finance, Harvey Norman, Track Racer, my own business, CowieMusic.com, Night Rider designs for our paints, which look awesome, and of course hashtag talk to me bro. Mates out there, we need to have chat to people. Things don't always go the way we like them, and sometimes it's good to get it off your chest.
Yep, life can throw a spanner in the works very, very quickly, and things can get dark quickly too. So reach out to friends and there's people out there like myself who just don't shut up. Sometimes it's good to talk to people like us because it lets you stop thinking about what's going on around you and focus on what's going on all the way around everyone else.
Of course, thanks to you guys and SRW, it gives us something to do on a Sunday night, which is awesome.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations to you both. I'm sure we'll see you guys on the podiums again coming up in the next few weeks. Some epic racing to be had in the next few rounds. Some really cool tracks. I'm looking forward to that big time, me and Hamish are. And congratulations, guys. And thanks for coming out and entertaining us.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
All right. Cheers, lads. We will get these boys out of the room and we will get both.
Before me, I didn't think I was going to race this in because of that.
Good job, Steve. You did it again.
You out, mate.
Yeah, you did. We'll bring Dodsy and Ty in.
That's exactly what I just said.
Crack on.
Oh, how's it going, Harry and Ty? We pulled you in together, mate, so we could have a bit of a chinwag because you guys have continued to battle with each other again like you guys were last season, and tonight was no different. The battling was sensational. Was it a lot of fun?
If I'm honest, Stephen, it was probably the best. This was me and Ty's probably best battle that we've had the entire time we've raced each other. Credit to the kid. He's been rock solid in his racecraft ever since he started. So yeah, it's I'm been really impressed watching him just improve his craft. He's getting faster and faster. Credits that's my shout out to Fishy Motorsport for him to get him to where he is.
Oh, look, it's I've watched him progress from the first race that when I said to his dad, you need to give me a letter of you're going to be racing in here, and that he's going to be racing with big boys. It's something that might not be nice to him on track in comms or on track. And he said, no, he's ready, he's good to go, and we've watched him progress like crazy. And young Fish, mate, I've actually seen your measured aggression lifted a little bit. Some of those battles, you've thrown the car in and bet on yourself and made the move. So it's good to see.
Yeah, cheers. It's just a really good race. I was definitely trying to get Harry, but in the end it just came down to strat, and we both knew what we had to do. But yeah, it was pretty good. All the boys in there were pretty close and came down to the wire.
Yeah, there was some great battling between you two and Doble. That one move where you guys came out at Cowie was epic on screen, man. The way you guys just tucked in behind you, Dodsy, and Cowie nearly got mugged by the three of us. I think Doble just left enough room for Cowie to get in. It was great on camera. Next week, are you both going to be on track? We're going to be seeing these battles for the rest of the season. Ty, I know you're focusing on some scops and that, but I'd tell you what, the battles, Hamish was a highlight of the night, I'd say. We'd probably focus on them more than anyone.
Yeah, well, I think they were giving us one of the hottest battles of the season, not just for tonight, but for the season prior now. And I think if we can see the kind of racecraft that you both, put on, obviously, Ty, I reckon your balls must have grown in the last couple of weeks, mate, because some of those moves you were going for, I mean, you must be the postman of the Pro-Am because you were licking more stamps than anyone out there. Some of the dive bombs you were making was absolutely incredible.
Mate, they don't have stamps anymore, do they?
No, they still do. Letters still have stamps.
They do. So they do too. Sorry, I'm losing it here at my end.
Oh,
look, I'm watching the replay side of it as well, and it was there was a few hairy moments where I thought you guys were just gonna lose it and take each other out, but you didn't. Dodsy, it's good to see you back at the pointy end, mate. You've had a few rough rounds in the coming weeks. Change of strategy. What's the plan, mate? Is it just not as much practice? Where's your head been at?
Oh, poor gee. if I'm honest, Steve, it's actually hard to tell because like I think last time I spoke to you, like it was like I wasn't sure if I was going to be racing this year because like I did obviously I think I told Hamish this before and like when I was in an interview with him, it was like it was like I had surgery in December because I had a broken hand, so yeah, it was pretty. I thought it was going to be pretty tough to get back on the grid. Like thankfully I got resilience and I managed to get back on here. In mid January, got some laps in, even though my hand still didn't feel right. And yeah, look where we are. And thankfully it was a shorter field. Like obviously I'll take a podium any day, but yeah, I'd love to have a podium in a much bigger field. Like obviously like because of clash with Scops, but yeah, I'll take a podium any day of the week.
So your hand's still struggling. That's where it's at. It's not. You can't practice as much, and you still got to battle a bit in the rig.
Oh no! Like it's fully healed up now. Like we're about a month and a half in from since I'm fully recovered. So yeah, I'm back. I've got obviously real world commitments as well in football, and I've got work. So yeah, just not being able to get on as much in practice as I like to. So yeah.
Well, you've had some good hit outs, man. I think you've just been a little bit unlucky of late.
I reckon that one at Silverstone last Sunday was a big step for me. Like obviously that's one of this European tracks is one of my strengths. I was saying to Ty before we came in, European tracks and so forth are one of my big strengths because I know how to manage the rubber properly. Even though you probably would have seen me sliding a fair bit on the broadcast, but besides the point. But yeah, it's like if I had to count one of my favorite tracks in, like this was like Mugello was probably one of the most I was looking forward to. Apart from Silverstone, I was really looking forward to this track because I did drive this track a lot when it came in for this season. So yeah,
it's good. That's good. Well, good to hear you out there battling again, mate, and the hand's getting better, and you're getting back on track. I can see that it's getting your pace is starting to slowly come back as well. So. Look, just keep battling through it, mate. You know what? The most important thing is that you're having fun. It's you don't have to get on a podium as long when you come out of nights where you've had battles and fights like this, and you come out unscathed, and you look back at it and watch it, and you'll be like, "Whoa, what a night that was!"
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and watch the broadcast. Like I reckon there'll be a lot of good highlights to watch.
There was a lot of good fights. There's a lot of close calls. There was a lot of moments where me and Hamish had gone.
Well, the pit exit when Ty came out and they were going 3 wide into turn 1 really made me wince quite a fair bit. So, but it was good to see you boys able to pull it off regardless. So,
yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Ty, Harry, do you want to go first? Who helps and supports and gets you out on track, mate?
Well, first off, before I shout out to the team and the sponsors, like obviously the second time we're going to shout out Ty for that awesome battle, like and the pace improvement from this kid. Like he's really taken it to the big boys and so forth. So yeah, well done to you, Tyzo, on your P2, and also to Darren Lobb as well for that big win. Like he won by a massive margin in the end too. He's absolutely smashed us. Main sponsors, obviously, Juiced Energy is our primary sponsor. We've got Simbricks.com, Racecraft Simulations, Pet Store Company, and Sudspeed Gloves.
Excellent, mate. Congratulations on your podium, mate. And I know you'll be itching at the bit to get back up here again for the rest of the season. Ty, have you got your list in front of you, mate?
I certainly do, but just like Harry, I just want to quickly say, great race, awesome battle, always great fun racing against you. And to my sponsor list, it is West End Motor Group, Parramatta Peugeot Professional, Parramatta City Great Wall Oval, West End Parramatta Isuzu DC Shades, Relax Precision Sim Training, Infinity Designs, Adrenaline Images, Precision Sim Training, Battery Warehouse, Sailey Beach, MJS Gaming, and most of all, Fishy Motorsports.
I think put mum and dad in there as well, mate.
I reckon Mr. McKnight needs to be happy with the fact of just having Ty just say West End Motor Group, so he doesn't have to name every single car dealership that's on that list. This is a nice little blanket term. Just big thanks to West End Motor Group and all of their businesses.
All their subsidiaries.
Yeah.
Ty, how's Dad going? Is he doing all right in the Scops?
Well, we'll just say he had a quote-unquote hardware failure. Definitely didn't forget to put full fuel in and had to tow. But apart from that, he's sitting and looking at me, and he seems pretty happy.
He's pretty happy.
Well,
I think he's happy for you, but not
Delaney
happy for
podium
him.
tonight across 2 different series. I mean, Blake took the win in Split 2, and Ty managed to get P2 in Pro-Am. So I think that's a pretty good win for the Delaney household.
Yeah, but the bloody household of champions.
Definitely not a champion yet. Dad's definitely got that seat in the top spot of the house, but hopefully soon I'll be able to get there.
Does Dad reminding you, is he, that he's still got the top seat in the house?
I wouldn't say he'd do it every minute, but
I reckon
every hour.
I reckon the day that Ty is faster than Blake is the day that Ty has to move out.
It reminds me of you see that old American movie where there's a father and son playing basketball, and then all of a sudden the son starts whipping the old man.
You'll notice when I start beating him, the power will just go out randomly. So.
Yeah. Or Dad might turn around and say, "Hey, Steve, have you got any room for a commentator?"
No, he might get in with the race controllers. Oh, can you just give Ty a black flag, please? I just want to get past him.
It'd be a straight up retirement offer for Blake.
Well, guys, you're both legends. Congratulations. Thank you for entertaining us tonight. You did some epic driving, some epic passing. And kudos to both of you for being absolute gentlemen on track. The way you gave each other space is full credit to character of both of you. And thank you very much, because it displays the quality of driving that we love to show the viewers at SRW. So congratulations to you both, guys. And see you next week for some epic fighting.
Cheers, Nico and Hamish. Have a good night, boys.
Thanks, boys. We'll catch you next Friday, or whenever that'll be.
Well, Hamish?
Mate, what a night of racing it was. Even though it was the smaller field, we definitely had battle of the season, I think, between Delaney, Doddsy and Doble.
You know what? Having the fastest grid in a series doesn't make you the biggest or the best. It's watching people like this and the show that these boys put on, no matter how many drivers there are out there. It's sensational. If you didn't know that it was a shortened field tonight, you probably wouldn't have known, because the battles out there were just epic.
Yeah, and I think they really just provided us with obviously some interesting talking points for the future for how they were battling and stuff like that. Gave us some good moments to call on track, couple of wincy moments, real close to the edge of of having an incident. But that's good racing at the end of the day, and everyone came home fairly unscathed, and it was good to see. So, but ladies and gentlemen, that will bring an end to our broadcast here tonight for the Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am. It's been incredible to have you here with us here tonight, for allowing us into your homes or wherever you may be. And if you haven't already, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and hit the bell icon so you are notified anytime we go racing across all 6 nights a week that we do, including the Tuesday night V8 Supercars series brought to you by Warren and Brown, the Wednesday night Shannon's Insurance Formula 3 Nationals, the Thursday night Shannon's Insurance Toyota GR8 6 Nationals, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series, the Friday night IMSA Shadow series brought to you by Warren and Brown Tools, the Sunday night Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am, then of course rounding out our racing week, the Motorsport Australia Formula V Nationals, which is also a Motorsport Australia official series. From myself, Hamish Munro, and from Steve, thank you all for joining us once again here for the Warren and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Pro-Am Series, round number 5 out at Autodromo del Mugello. Steve, tell them what you like to tell them.
Drive hard and stay safe, viewers. See you all soon.
Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to snip on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanak and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us.